In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the Photoshop actions that come with the Venom template set to quickly and easily adjust the colors of your template to match the team colors without needing to really know anything about how the layers are structured in the template. So the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to load in the actions. So in the Photoshop menu under the Windows drop-down, you'll select Actions. That'll bring up your Actions panel, and then you'll select the drop-down and select Load Actions. And then in the unzipped folder from the download, there'll be another folder called Photoshop Actions, and under that there'll be the actions, so just click on that and hit Load. And then you'll have the actions here to use. Now with the color changing actions, there's 5 different items you can adjust, and these are actually really easy to use. You'll just select the action you want and hit play, and there, like I say, there's 5 items. So the first item, and I labeled these by items, so these this title with the asterisk here, each of those is a separate group of the same item. So like for instance, the center color here is the hourglass in the center. So if we want to change that to another color, we just select that action and hit play. And you could select any of the colors. Then you've got, you can select from different sports balls in the background. So no ball, or soccer, tennis, basketball, volleyball, or baseball. For this case, it's volleyball. The ball overlay color can be light or dark. And the lighting is all the lighting effects around the template. So there's different lighting effect colors you can choose from. And then same thing with the fog. A lot of times I just like to use white for the fog, but there's also color options as well. Another thing you could do is, and what I suggest doing, is making your own color themes. So for example, we've got actions here. I've loaded in a few different actions just as examples of color themes, but these will change all of the colors in the template with one click, and they're very simple to make. These actions are just 5 steps, and what you'll do is you'll record your own action, and then you'll play one action from each of those 5 groups of colors, and then you'll have a color theme action. So I'll show you how to do that here. Oh, one thing before I even do this, while I'm thinking about it, I forgot to mention, is these actions all rely on layer names in the template that it has to adjust. So if you rename layers or you delete layers, these actions can throw errors and fail. Additionally, 3 of the templates have a group that's hidden that says don't delete unused layers with a layer called fog team. Leave that in there even though it's not being used, because the actions need that layer because they will actually change the color in that layer. And the reason why is one of the templates, the Easy Team Style Memory Mate, has an extra fog layer in front of the team that the other templates do not have. However, in order to allow the same actions to work for all of the different templates, all of the templates need the same layers. So the workaround for the templates that didn't use that layer was just to put it hidden in a group on the bottom. So that way the action can see that layer and adjust it, but it won't be visible in the template. All right, now that I've got that part out of the way, let's get into talking about how you create your own themes here. So the first thing, what I recommend is before you start recording your actions, just set everything in the template like you want it, and that'll make it easy to record your actions. Because if you just hit record and start recording, you may decide, okay, you don't want teal, you want blue. And if you're recording your action, it's going to record all of those redundant steps that are not needed, or those additional steps that are not needed. So first figure out what your template has and then or what your template needs and then record the action. So let's just make something new here. Let's go with black in the center. Let's go with a volleyball. Let's make that light colored. Let's put magenta. And then I think I want the fog white. No, let's make it teal. A lot of times I like white for the templates, but let's just make this one teal here. So now that I see what I want in the template, make sure you're on the Venom template set before you start recording your action. But then just hit new action, and we'll call this Aspire Volleyball 3. Let's call it VB3. I can't type here. Okay, now it's easy because we already see what we want. So let's just go through and I'll select each one we want and hit play. And you can see the actions recording with this little red record button going. But I played that first action and you can see it's recorded into the action. Now you didn't see anything happen on the template because we're playing in actions to set it to the color that it already is. So we're not seeing it happen, but it's still recording it. So the next thing is the ball. Let's click on volleyball and hit play. And make sure you do all 5 of these. That way, no matter what the template is set to, when you play that action, you're going to get everything set properly. We'll go light on the ball, lighting magenta, and then fog teal. And I can hit stop here, and this action should work. So I'm just going to set this to some other action and hit play. That way we can test our action here. And you can see that that action works. Now the cool thing about these actions is you can batch automate these actions, and using a CSV file, you can put in your action in this post action. One column is typically what you'll use. You can use multiple as well, but under this post action 1, what you'll need here is the first part of this name is the name of the action set, and it is case and space sensitive, so it's best to copy and paste that in here. Then between the set name and the action name, you'll need to use the character on your key. It's above the enter key on the same key as the backslash, but you'll have to use shift in that key, and it will make that straight up and down symbol, whatever that is. But that's what's used in the cell to separate action and set. So then you'll go into your action, and you can copy and paste that. I mean, you can type it in as well, but since it is case and space sensitive, copy and paste is best. No extra spaces here because it's not going to work if you do that. And then when you run the batch automation, it'll see that action and run. What you can also do is, if you don't want to put that into CSV, or if you're not using a CSV and you're batch automating and want to use an action, there's a place called Run Post Action on Composite. And if you've made new actions, you'll have to hit this Reset Actions drop down. That way it'll load any new actions in here. Then we select our set, and we should see that new action there we just made. And the difference between running it here versus running it from the CSV is you can only do one action for all of your images if you run from a CSV, or if you run from the menu here. So if you're just batching one team or one league that you want all the same color in, you could just do that here. But if you want to switch and run a different action, like if you're running a large batch and you're switching between teams and want to change the colors for each team, you can do that in your CSV by putting a different action in the cells for each composite that you're building. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about here is if you want to do additional customization to your actions for colors that may not match perfectly and you want to customize something a little bit further. So I'm going to load in another player image here with a different team. Okay, again, the same process. Let's get the template close to what we want first, and then decide what needs to be different. And then we'll record the action and put some additional steps in. So for this, for the center color, let's say we want blue. This uniform's got a very dark blue in them, but this blue is, let's say it's brighter than we want. I know that, but we'll come back to this in just a bit here. Then ball logo, say basketball. Let's just leave this light for now. Lighting color, let's put this gold to match the gold in the uniforms. Then fog, I think I want white for the fog on this. All right, let's say this is what we want, but we want this blue to be darker. Let's first record this action with these color elements, and then we'll add the extra steps. So let's go to new action here. Call this Trojans BB for basketball. All right, so I'm just going to go through the colors here. Play the blue action. Basketball, play that. Light ball. Gold lighting. And white fog. All right, so this action now will work to set these colors up. Let's say we wanted this blue darker, and I'm going to purposely show you a mistake that can happen because this is a very common mistake when people are recording actions. And so the center color is where we want to adjust here. So what the mistake a lot of people make is they'll select that layer first before they start recording anything in their actions. And then let's hit record, and then let's make this a darker blue color here. All right, now let's test this action, and it's not going to work, but let's first set it to something else. Actually, let's go something that's not blue. Something else that's not blue here. Okay, then let's go to this Trojans BB action we just made. And you can see it didn't set that dark blue color. Well, the reason why is when it got to that last step we made to set that dark blue, it was not on the right layer. It actually, in this case, set the fog team layer, that one that's not being used, to a dark blue instead. And the reason why is because this action that it played last, fog white, the last layer it was on was this fog layer. Then when the next action started, or the next step started that we recorded, it didn't know to go to this center color before it adjusted that layer. So you need to tell it that when you're recording your action. So let's start this over here. So what you need to do is make sure you're not on that layer, select something else, and then start your recording. And so the first step of your action is to select that step, and then you'll see this select layer center color in this case. So now that it's on the right layer and the action knows it's on the right layer, now it's going to work when we set this color here. So let's play a different action here and then go back to our Trojans BB action. And you can see in this case it worked. So really pretty simple. Hope this helps, and hopefully you're able to easily set up color themes for your own teams.